from DMO at least, as Twyla does love that Cassiopeia pick. And you can see the 20% win rate, and I think that is pretty much exclusively down to Twyla. We'll see how the Cassiopeia works out. But now with Victory 5 hovering a Sylas, that Karma could be a support.
I imagine it is going to be the Karma support. I mean, we've seen ppgod play this before, and it does reasonably well against the short range of the Karsa here as well. So a very poke-orientated bottom lane for Victory 5. A Mole going towards the Sylas. So this is a bit of an interesting one, because he hasn't actually played the Sylas yet this split. This is another new one for Mole, but definitely something that can... It struggles a little bit with Cassiopeia in the mid lane because, of course, you've got the miasma, which can hold him in place. Also, she's got a bunch of sustained damage that can come out if you fail to land it, abscond up duck. So, Mole is going to have his work cut out for him here against Knight.
This is going to be an interesting game. I was not expecting a Cassiopeia to come through from Knight here. As you can see, the coaches step forward and bow.
Sorry, I just
had an epiphany to my left.
It's Mole playing the Sylas top. I think it might actually be just Mole is going to go up towards the top side and take that top lane matchup against the Ornn. And then you have Biubiu play the Renekton in the mid lane against the Cassiopeia, which would be slightly better, but I could be wrong with that still. Maybe I'm just thinking too deep about this.
Outthinking yourself potentially. Yeah. We've seen it before. We've seen mid lane Sylas swap up towards the top lane and try and go for that counter pick. We'll have to see how it's all going to work out. I'm just keeping my eyes on Knight in that mid lane. Now he's bringing out a Cassiopeia. It's a carry. It's something that he can really influence the game on, especially with those petrifying gazers. See if he's going to find that during the mid game. But once again, JackeyLove going for one of these AD carries that really wants to be getting towards 3 items before he truly hits his power spikes later on into the game. This is going to be a big game now for Top Esports as they are against the ropes as we head into game number 2 between them and V5. We're on to Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. V5, the 1-0 up. And I got a whole bunch of comfort during this draft as well, especially looking towards the Ashe there from Sam D to set up these plays around the map.
And I think that's what we're going to see is the early plays around these objectives once again coming in for V5. They want to try and find these fights where you can use the double bruisers of the Renekton and Volley, you've got the speeder coming through from ppgod, and you try to just run over Top Esports in a lot of situations. Well, the triple bruiser as well with Mole, and having Sam D as that engage tool with that Enchanted Crystal Arrow. On the opposite side for Top Esports though, we're still seeing a lot of this late game scenario coming in where you have the later game Cassiopeia, you have the Kai'Su who wants to get to those 3 items as well, especially if she's going that AP route. So this is where I want to see if Top Esports can try and weather this storm once again in the early stages, and potentially they should be able to, especially with the way these lanes are looking. I mean, Knight will be able to control against Mole, and at least in that bottom lane, JackeyLove will have some poke, but at least he should not fall 3 kills behind in the early stages of the game this time.
Tripping over your tongue a little bit there, but I get what you're saying. I get where we're going with this one. I'm really curious about that bottom lane. The fact that Sam D and ppgod got themselves a duo kill in game number 1. There's suddenly a whole heap of pressure on JackeyLove. 2018 world champion, by the way, that was being taken down in lane. We got Biubiu in a 1v1 with 369, and he's winning out once again here. Just forces the Ornn out of lane.
But Karsa's up here in the top side, so we'll have to be careful. That pillar is not quite available. He hasn't actually taken anything yet as that second point. Now takes the pillar.
Here we go. We're going to see if they can finish this one off. Flashes across the board here, but Karsa is quicker than Biubiu. Finds himself a bite down for first blood.
Big mistake from Biubiu, not respecting that Karsa could start on that top side and still make that level 2 gank. And 369 now can actually back himself. Looks like he's going to use the teleport to get into lane. So you don't have the kill pressure as Biubiu, but he's going to be totally fine. He's already in a great shape coming into this lane.
Interestingly, we do have this fleet footwork coming through for Mole in the mid lane. Biscuits, but we're going to fight at the bottom side of the map right now. JackeyLove's in trouble, and Weiwei is moving down as well. ppgod, they're going to try and answer the kill, but it's not happening this time. yuyanjia pulls himself to the wall. It's slow, but not enough.
And every time it looks like V5 are going to be targeting JackeyLove in this bottom lane. They are fine to just set this Karsa behind and set Sam D up for success. But as he talked about Mole, having that fleet footwork, this is a bit of a struggle lane for him, where he just wants to be trying to heal up as much as possible. And that's what we talked about. I'm surprised to see Mole opting into this Sylas pick when we already know that it's a bit of a struggle for him against the Cassiopeia.
You know, I just mentioned how there was a lot of pressure on JackeyLove specifically. He's the one on this roster that is a world champion. This is a guy that we always look to. He's the guy that changed the fate of top esports. He's the one that's getting killed in lane now. Karsa goes for a bit of an invade here, but Mole is here to answer. Biubiu's moving over. Weiwei's already here. Karsa does get out with his life.
Yeah, he'll be able to step back. But as you said, look, JackeyLove on this team has a lot on his shoulders because he is the one that is the playmaker, or the shot caller. He's the playmaker as well. But here, ppgod actually manages to outplay yuyanjia. Nice flash forward. He sets up for the play, and you can see on the screen how vocal ppgod is. This is why he's been the shot caller essentially for V5, loves to make these calls and make these plays. But even though, looking back towards JackeyLove has a lot of pressure as a shot caller, in this composition, Knight is the one that has a lot on his shoulders, because with this Cassiopeia, her whole stick here is to make sure that Biubiu, Weiwei and Mole struggle really hard to get into these fights. But with the Petrifying Gaze and that Miasma, so if Knight is able to keep the V5 front line out of these fights, it becomes a lot easier for top esports to try and kite back and then use the likes of the Killer Instinct to just finish folks off and have that PO potential as well with the Call of the Forge.
And I just want to take something back that I said in Champion Select, and that was that we're going to see a Karma out of ppgod, so we can't necessarily have the same playmaking ability than what we saw in Game 1. I take it back completely, because apparently Flash Karma plays are very much a thing when you're ppgod. He's changing the way that support is meant to be played down in the bottom lane. And this is 2 games in a row now where we see duo kills out of V5.
Karsa needs to be careful here. Mid is pushing in for Mole, and you've got Weiwei here. Bot is going to start pushing for SamD and ppgod. This is not the best when Weiwei will spot this out now that he's on Dragon. Look, Mole's already moving.
But you have to push from the bottom lane, so Karsa will have some defense, and his ppgod pulled in, teleport channeled as well. ppgod just burned on down and taken through, but JackeyLove needs one more auto to finish the job finally. Gets that kill for himself. SamD trying to return some damage at very least. Turns out it was all a bait.
Didn't have the mantra speed to get out of there fast enough. Manages to just about get caught on the edge of yuyanjia's hook, and means the top esports now can go towards this dragon. Fortunately, V5 just can't make that play happen.
So finally a bit of a return here from top esports, and for the first time in this entire series, they're the ones with a gold lead.
There's a lot of V5 moving down, though. Biubiu even walking. They're looking for the play.
I'm surprised they're going for this. Weiwei is removed from the play, and that is a beautiful ult coming out from Mole. He destroyed everyone from the side of top esports. yuyanjia cannot escape this one as SamD will chase it down. ppgod gets a kill, and I couldn't see it, but Mole is a visionary.
Mole is a monster. I didn't even consider just having this massive Petrifying Gaze from the Sylas, and he turns that fight completely around for Victory 5. And there you go. I mean, you were talking about, for a brief instant, top esports knew what it felt like to be on top of the gold pile, but it's V5 now back in command.
Yeah, not any longer. I was looking out for Knight's ult. I wasn't expecting it from Mole, but just look at that. 3-man ulti.
I saw Weiwei go down. I was like, oh god, this is a disaster for V5. But Mole hitting 3 members with that ultimate steps up beautifully right as ppgod and SamD come back, and then manages to give over so many more kills to Victory 5. And look at the key members that it's gone on to. I mean, you've got one for Mole, you've got one for SamD as well. But on the opposite side, JackeyLove has managed to pick up 2 of those kills. The double pickaxe now coming back into lane because he's going to go for the Manamune and also for that Guinsoo's Rage Blade, so he'll get double use. But crucially, it also gives him that evolved Q as well. So he'll be able to clear out these waves far better against SamD now in this bottom lane.
It's just insane to me that this is Mole we're talking about. This is the guy that was randomly playing Nico AD carry last split. This is the guy that was, as far as I could see, trolling back in spring. And now he comes in against top esports and makes a play like that, makes Knight look like the worst mid laner. I'm struggling to comprehend what's happening in front of me, Doug.
But it's a thing of beauty. It's fantastic to see the potential for Mole finally being realized, because when he came back in and started in BLG years back. Hang on a second.
JackeyLove's going to be stunned up. There's a tether to follow it up as well. JackeyLove can't get out of this one. Exhaust keeping him still as the bear pounces. And now yuyanjia's in trouble because those towers don't do anything against Volibear. Yuyanjia chased on down. A Mole wants another kill for himself. Uses yuyanjia's ult against himself, but they can't close the gap. It doesn't matter. They still got Jackie.
Merc Thread saves lives in that situation, just about managed to get out, but here you go, Rift Herald will be traded topside. V5 are making the play spot, they get the kill, they're getting these turret plates, and this is a very similar story to what we saw in the last game, where V5 are happy to trade this early Rift Herald for just plates directly into the hands of Sam D.
We've got a high-octane game once again, and it's V5 that are setting the pace once more here, and I'm excited to see that they are still going to play with this confidence. They come out of game number 1, they get themselves a win, and once again, they look to set the way that the game is played here for Top Esports, and it's very much about whether or not TES can answer this aggression.
And I do want to go back to what we were saying about Mole. Like, when he started in 2018 on BLG, he came in at the very beginning in spring, and he looked amazing. I was alongside Chieftain. These guys looked set to take over that mid-jungle 2v2. But then very quickly as the split went on, he started to fall off. Then he found his way onto V5 and looked like the best team on, our best player on V5, but V5 wasn't the best team. Now, though, he looks like he's really found himself once again in summer 2020. And even Knight is having some tough times against him.
And I think that we have to acknowledge the strategy that is clearly being used, especially in game number 2 here, and that is shut down JackeyLove. Do not let this guy play. They're saying that, look, every single time Top Esports is winning, JackeyLove is making these insane plays, which they're not wrong. And so both games now in this series, V5 are like, all right, Weiwei, just jump at JackeyLove. Just run him down every single time. And it's working wonderfully.
Well, we're going to have to see if they can make it work here once again, because we got that Dragon spawn in 50 seconds. Infernal, both sides are going to want this. And with the 2 teleports up for both top laners, this could turn into a bloodbath very quickly.
Karsa already in position to try and find an opportunity to start some action. Moving towards the mid lane here, and he's assessed that Knight is the guy that needs the gold this game. He's going to be able to drop a Rift Herald, but Weiwei, I think, spotted him there. And it means that Mole should get away with his part.
Yeah, you can see the pings going down. They knew he was there, so Mole playing super far back. Does nick the Petrifying Gaze, though, here for Mole. So can back here does have the teleport available, so can get towards this dragon fight if it kicks off, whereas Knight will have to walk back. So I'm curious to see if V5, how quickly they want to try and start up this objective, but they're not going to put too much pressure just yet.
Yeah, the fact that they're just slowly farming away in the bot lane makes me think that they're going to wait for a play first, and the play that they're moving towards is Weiwei in the bottom lane once more.
They also didn't know where Top Esports were. They're waiting for that hawk shot, as you can see, so now Weiwei moving into position. And this could be a very quick fight, as this dragon is going to get started by V5.
So JackeyLove has himself that Mana Moon, so he will actually be ahead of Sam D in damage despite the scoreboard right now if the fight does kick off. But it's going to be much more about the mid laners here, much more about if the CC can be layered from V5, they really want to get onto Knight. Flash is available. You don't even need it. Just slithers away. Now yuyanjia's the one to start the fight as he gets a knock-up across the team here. Weiwei jumps out of the play. But that should open up Dragon for Top Esports. Mole goes for a 1v1 onto Knight, but doesn't get the stun for himself. Neither does Knight either. And everybody walks away.
I mean, you say that, but V5 are trying to take back this river. Knight has his TP, though, so Top Esports will still look to posture here for a little bit longer.
The sheer confidence to make that play. By all rights, V5 had lost this Dragon, but we're not done just yet. Herald goes down to the bottom lane. JackeyLove going to push this one as Knight teleports in, and that's going to deter the Dragon attempt from V5.
Biubiu is kind of low, though, so 369 is doing a good job of pushing him back. However, both top laners are now backing, make sure they've got mana on 369. They got health on Biubiu, but top have already taken the
So
Dragon.
we just see these great map plays after great map plays. This time, Top Esports are matching V5, though. I think maybe they underestimated them in game number 1, and suddenly they've woken up a little bit. Great play to use the Herald in the bottom lane to find themselves some momentum here.
And now they can continue to push in. They will get another turret plate here for JackeyLove, so JackeyLove is still really strong at the moment. Well, not at the moment, but will be really strong when he does get that back. Finish the Guinsoo's Rage Blade, can then work towards the Nashor's Tooth, which I imagine is what he's going to go for in this build path. So overall, top esports are looking really stellar. When you consider Victory 5 are the ones that definitely want to have this mid-game spot.
That's what we saw in game number 1 as well. They've got a fairly similar composition to that as well. And Karsa now going to go for an invade in the bottom side. Give this blue buff over to Knight, try and starve Mole of some of that mana.
He'll still be okay, though. He'll be able to clear out these waves reasonably fine. I don't want to see, actually here, Biubiu will make a quick trade. What happens at this next Rift Tower? Because that's going to be coming up in just about 2 minutes, or 2.5 minutes. So we'll have to see how V5 want to try and conduct themselves around that. You're going to have these turret plates falling off fairly quickly. There could be the potential for JackeyLove and yuyanjia to just kill that bottom lane turret and forego that Rift Tower play at the top side, but I'm not sure what the call here is for top esports, how aggressive they want to be.
That'll be the question, and we'll see that in a couple of minutes' time. We've got some pings around the map as Karsa moved up to the top half so that he can secure his own blue buff as well. But Weiwei, I think, has moved down towards that bottom lane. They were looking to try and dive JackeyLove. They're going to spot JackeyLove, who does have the flash available if he needs it, but I think realizing that there ain't that much damage here.
There isn't, but it does mean that you've zoned JackeyLove away from this bottom lane tower.
Oh,
and now,
hang on. They're not zoning. They're going to go for a dive on the tier 2 right here. Mole, you can see him on the minimap.
I think they're just trying to stop any more pressure from coming down. So SamD guarantees this bottom lane tower, and now you can start that rotation towards the top side as that Rift Tower is about to spawn. So fantastic play from V5.
Yeah, really nice play from V5. It's good to see that top esports aren't going straight into the plays like they did in game number 1, though. It feels like top esports have adapted for game 2, and at least they're going to find a Herald.
They will get this Herald. SamD wanted to back to finish off the Blade of the Rune King that he just got it. So as long as V5 don't go too far forward here.
This went really wrong for top esports in game 1. They're going straight onto Mole this time, and they've caught out a different carry. Weiwei can't just win the fight by himself this time around, and it means top esports get themselves a Herald.
Okay, that was a bold move from Mole, moving into that river when SamD isn't there. Yes, he can come in with the ultimate, but it's not enough. And with how quickly you can have Knight tear through Mole's health bar, not the best of calls.
SamD doing great for gold once again, but this time around JackeyLove is very close behind him. So they're not going to have this tremendous lead out of the early game that we saw in game number 1. And so as we move towards the mid game then, Dagda, as we move later on, it does feel like this is going to be a much more even series here. Although 369 currently having a bit of a battle in the top lane. JackeyLove takes the tower.
I agree. I think this is going to be a bit of a more difficult one for V5, where they're the ones that want to try and have this dive in, get on towards top esports, and see if they can punish these carries. The issue is, though, Knight is going to be super capable of keeping himself away from all that when he does have the Petrifying Gaze, but top lane here.
We've got a bit of a brawl going on. Ornn combo isn't going to hit, and that means 369 could be in a whole bunch of trouble. One more auto, and Biubiu flashes for the solo kill.
Fantastic play from Biubiu, and a man who was getting solo killed so much is once again finding a bunch for himself when it comes to Summer. And that sets up V5 now to make this play in mid if they want. They have 20 seconds before 369 is up. You can have a teleport come in from Biubiu.
JackeyLove is going to be okay for wave clear at this point in the game, though. Once you do max that Q, you could kind of whittle away through the minions relatively easy. So V5 decide not to push for the tower in mid. And let's take another look at this, because this is just 369 overstepping. Yeah,
and a bit of a misplay here from 369 as well. Actually, did get stunned right as he went for the knock-up, so meant that he couldn't quite get the follow-up on that call the ppgod. But in mid lane, we're still seeing that Rift Tower go down. You have 369 hovering off on the side.
Mole's going to steal himself a depth charge here to try and force a play, but won't really find the right way in.
They spotted Knight. Biubiu knew that Knight was still coming down to try and join in this mid lane play, so not quite wanting to push the pressure too far, especially when you do have Dragon just coming up in a few seconds.
SamD just going to be trying to clear the minion waves against Knight here, as the Ocean Drake is up on the map, and top esports are in position. They are not going to give this one up. They already have 2 Drakes for themselves, as Mole barely dodges a hook here. Call of the Forge God's still on cooldown. It doesn't need it! 3-man knockup, beautifully done by 369. That's a couple of ultis used.
That is the perfect spot for top esports as well, because it's front to back, but Biubiu gets caught.
Biubiu just about gets away with his life, though. V5 repositioned back in the river.
Now V5 are in a good spot, though. They have the river. They've got multiple directions that they can come from, but actually top esports are going to back away. They don't want to try. Oh, they might actually.
No.
Sam D is out of position.
Just came up. Sam D has found himself alone. Blast goes over, but yuyanjia flashes and finds himself alone over Elizabeth. It's all gone wrong right now for top esports. JackeyLove over the wall, but he doesn't have the damage to take on 5 members. Straight onto the dragon, though. Top esports, they found themselves an objective now. Maybe a fighter's Knight still has that petrifying gaze. Keep your eyes on this snake, because this still could go awry for V5, but the ult is not there. Enemy's top has to back away.
It still means top esports got the objective. They end up getting, yes, yuyanjia gifted for it, but still, they will get this mid lane tower. That's a win for top esports. Now, we got to look at what's going to happen, though, because we're hitting that 19-minute mark. Baron's going to be spawning soon. You've got top esports who are looking super, super strong with an Ocean Soul in 4.5 minutes. V5 have got to find some way of cracking what is top esports playing very smart around what their composition wants to do.
This is beautiful from both sides of the board here. The fact that this is such a close game. Biubiu tries to get himself a 1v1 with Karsa. Needs to be careful, as top esports will eventually back out of the jungle.
The thing is, though, this is a super close game. While V5 are at their strongest, top esports are still yet to hit that point. And it's off of, well, the earlier setup where going into these close quarter corridors much favors top esports, because they've got the ppgod, they've got Ornn who can set up in the front line, and Knight can just play from the back totally safe. JackeyLove does almost find the pick onto Sam D. yuyanjia, unfortunately, trying to make the hero play, goes a bit too far, but it still nets top esports that dragon. So now, when this next one comes up, you can have top esports play towards that Baron area, and they do that Baron incredibly quickly with Knight and JackeyLove.
Knight's over the wall here. And I love how V5 are just in a permanent state of posturing for a fight here. Biubiu slides away with his life. And it looks like V5 are going to have to just settle for this for the minute, move to the side lanes, clear some minions, and go back to normal League of Legends just for a moment. I don't want them to, though, Dagda. I don't want normal League of Legends. I want this series to continue as it has been going on, because this is unbelievable. And the fact that top esports have wrestled themselves a lead once again, but most importantly, they've got those 3 Drakes. It does feel like, especially with when you factor scaling into the equation, feels like top esports are very much the favorite here in Game 2.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of hesitant to be like, okay, well, V5, yes, they're going even. That's the problem, is that they're going even. They're the team that wants to try and move ahead. You can even see the Colonel here agreeing with us that top esports, because they have the scaling on the side, the later this game goes, the better they look, but picks are still an option.
Going for Karsa here. He's going to be tanky with the subjugate, but the 3 members strongest ppgod arrives, shielding across the team, but they're just going to pull straight on towards Mole. JackeyLove's here. This is an Ornn ult across the team. Mole's been hung out to dry by the rest of his team, but the Kingslayer keeping him so damn healthy. 369 can't get the knock-up, and Mole somehow gets away with his life. How does this man survive everything? No, he doesn't! JackeyLove's on the scene, pulling in a croc as Biubiu jumps forward. Blade of the Rune King, but he can't quite get onto JackeyLove. Knocked up, taken down as well, but he gets JackeyLove 1 for 1.
But V5 are all over the place. Sam D is clearing mid. He doesn't want to fight in these corridors, and now it will be 1 for 1. Top esports are still searching, though.
With JackeyLove down, they can't do anything rash like the Baron, but whoa, this is a close one now, and it is going to be 2 kills going the way of top in the end.
Well, if V5 cannot find these picks quickly enough and top esports are able to collapse, it's perfect, because they're trying to make these plays in the corridors, but yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to do anything. It's going to stop us.
Supportal combat!
But the thing is, V5 are looking for picks, which I like. The problem is that they're not finding them quick enough, which is how this fight kicks off. Top esports are then able to collapse. And in these jungle corridors, Call of the Forge God has so much pressure. The Searing Charge from Ornn as well is able to zone out Sam D entirely here. He's not auto-attacking anybody. And even then, when this fight really kicks off and Biubiu does go for JackeyLove, Sam D has got to piece out. He cannot be in these corridors where you Trundle pillars, you've got pillars coming through from the Ornn. This all-terrain altering abilities makes it so difficult for a mobile Ashe to try and operate.
And once again, a little bit greedy from JackeyLove there. He didn't need to die. He was surrounded by his team. Biubiu was definitely going down, but wanted to maximize DPS and found himself that kill. ends up falling for it. And now keep your eyes on the AD carries because Summoners both about to be available for Sam D, whereas they're both going to be on cooldown in this next fight for JackeyLove.
And that means he's got a massive target on his back from Weiwei and from Mole, who both have their own flash. Weiwei not having his ultimate up, though, could be a bit of an issue, but the TP is
This is an aggressive TP here from 369. He wants to start this fight straight away towards Mole here, who's stolen the call of the Forge God. But it's V5 posturing for the Dragon right now. 10 seconds. This would be Soul for top esports.
They need to try and get onto JackeyLove and Knight. That's why V5 are trying to spread out here, open up for multiple angles.
This is Mole's ult across the team of top esports. Knight knocked up, but he's going to be okay for now as 369 wants to return a ramp onto the enemy team. It's Mole knocked up onto the entire team. JackeyLove's into the backline here trying to finish off the kill, but the Kingslayer keeping Mole healthy. ppgod over the wall, but he somehow survives this one. Mole is going to fall. One more Q, and JackeyLove gets the kill. Top esports, while Knight gets a triple.
And that is where top esports come alive. They've been waiting so long to find this big fight versus V5, and this is the one that broke the camel's back. They get the Ocean Soul. They're turning towards the Baron. Top esports are looking to take everything.
This game has just been blown wide open by top esports. JackeyLove going into the backline, playing Assassin AD carry. And in the meantime, Knight just deals with the entire rest of V5.
And it was a bit unfortunate there for V5 where they had the right idea, try and get the wide berth of a bunch of different... Oh, ppgod.
You don't survive this on ppgod. That's a big scary snake. And you know what? Knight is going to be in a 1v3 here. But I'm thinking I might even favor Knight for this one. Stunned up. And there's the ulti as well. He doesn't quite have the damage to bring down the bear.
Oh
yes, he does.
God.
And he's got a lifesteal to boot as well.
Oh, no!
Burning down the quag. No way! Knight, you monster!
What is going on in this game? Knight has just managed to 1v3 all of V5. What was that?
That is unbelievable. That is the best mid laner in the world, my friend.
Oh, Knight makes it look so damn easy. Just finishes off the Magi Soul Stealer to add a little bit of insult to injury, but he doesn't need anything more. He has done his job in this game. Be that consistent damage. Where JackeyLove needs to be the assassin, it's Knight who's damaging the front line. Knight who's working his way front to back. And when he's just worked his way through 3 different players on V5 who've come in at 3 different times, it is just feeding this snake more and more.
And you know what? They are taking this base apart. Top esports took game 1 personally, and they are not going down without a fight. Sam D now caught up, knocked up. The call of the Forge God going to look for the snipe, but actually 369, he's going to settle for a croc instead. Down goes Biubiu. They only need 1 pick to end this game. Mole has to run for the hills right here as they focus on towards the Nexus Towers. Happy to tank the stun is 369 as the depth charge just keeps everybody at bay, but 369 on the front line once more. Knight has the damage. Ult across the whole team. Sam D forced onto the fountain. Mole gets out with his life, but it's another double for the snake. And top esports are just looking for bonus kills at this point, as they always do, because they're bringing us to game 3. And you know what, Dagda? I wouldn't have it any other way.
Neither would I, Munchables. Looking at that major